this is Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. So today I have a fun video for you using this little baby right here. This is the Blueberry Muffin palette by BH Cosmetics. Yes, super affordable. Before we get started, if you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're an oldie but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy and I love makeup, and that's how you get Dr. Ash and her makeup. But please just call me Ash or Ashley. And I love eyeshadow also. Like, eyeshadow is really my jam. It's my jam. So like I said, today we have 3 looks, 1 palette with this Blueberry Muffin palette by BH Cosmetics. So this has just been like kind of floating all over YouTube. It's been taking this storm and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to check it out. Everybody's saying it's so good. And you know, BH Cosmetics, they've been out for so long. They have so many palettes. I know everybody loves to take me to Brazil. That particular line has been a hit from BH Cosmetics. They're affordable, but you know, sometimes like the quality is just not really there, okay? Like we just gonna keep it real, it's just not really there. But I feel like maybe like lately they just had to kind of say like, you know, we need to get it together. There are a lot of affordable brands like ColourPop, you know, they quality been slipping up a little bit, but they've been coming back together in these last few palettes. But you know, it's so many affordable brands out here, so it's like, BH, if you want to stay in the game, honey, you gonna have to get yourself together. So I think they've been doing that with these last couple palettes. So like I said, I have the Blueberry Muffin palette right here, and it is a 16 pan palette. And of course, it's Blueberry Muffin themed. So you have some gorgeous shimmers, some deep mattes, and some fun blurple color pops of mattes right here. And then you also have a mirror in this palette. Once you turn it around, it does have the ingredients and it has some of the directions. It's just basically saying that it's the Blueberry Muffin palette. It's a 16 color palette. Okay, it's really dark on the back. I'm like, I can't even barely see it. Yep, y'all know I can't see far, but so it has, like I said, it has the ingredients that's really more so on the outer sleeve of the palette, and it's made by BH Cosmetics, and it's saying this is recyclable. It's also a vegan palette, and looks like it says extra clean right here. It's like the same color on top of the color. I can't really see it, guys. I can't. So yeah. So that is like the details on the palette. Now the palette is actually retailed, I want to say, for $18. I was able to catch this on a sale. I want to say they were having maybe 30% off. So I got this palette for $13.50 right now. I think the palette is $10.80, but it is out of stock. I'm sorry, but it should probably be coming back very soon. So I do have 3 looks, 1 palette for you. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you some swatches and we'll go ahead and get into the looks and wrap up with some final thoughts afterwards. All right, let's go ahead and get started. My eyebrows are filled in using my usual, which is the Goof Proof pencil, shade 3.75. For my primer, I went in with the Urban Decay Caffeine Primer Potion, and then I did just put a little of the Anastasia eye primer base on there. For it, I cannot use that eye primer base by itself, and I'm going to go in with my BK Beauty 201 brush. And let's see, I'm going to pick up the shade Fluffy. I have used this palette before now. I do want to kind of show you this shade. I wasn't really impressed with the shade. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. But with everything else that I did use, I was impressed. So this is the shade Fluffy. It can help blend out some of the other shades, but I find that this shade is just a tinge a little ashy. It could be more, I don't know, just more peachy and not ashy. So that's the shade Fluffy. Taking a BK 202 brush, I'm going to go in with the shade 350 degrees, and we're going to pop this in the crease. And I feel like this shade does have nice pigmentation. It's a nice pretty brown color, so I'm just going to blend that out. So Fluffy does help, that very first shade that we used, just to kind of help blend out the other shade, but I honestly think don't really need it. If it skips right here, all my shadow skips right here. Just so you know. All of it. And I'm just going back and forth. I am new to the BK Beauty brushes, and I do like them. They are synthetic, so if you're not down with the natural brush cause or the natural brush game, you can look at BK Beauty. These are really soft. So I like how that shade 350 goes. I'm just going to pop a little here, like I said. But I don't really worry about that too much because it's usually like a shimmer going right there. So it's just like whatever. With a BK Beauty 203, I'm going to go in with the shade Decadent. And I'm just going to pop this on the outer corner. This shade is a little bit deeper. And I like how Decadent has a little bit of plum to it. You know I like a good plummy brown, boy. You know, that be my jam. And that packed on really nice. Back to 02, I'm just going to just smooth that out between 350 and Decadent. So BK Beauty 203 again. Now I'm going to pop in with the navy blue, which is Stud Muffin. And I just slightly tapped off the excess, and I'm just going to start placing this on the outer middle. And I'm not going to cover up everything from Decadent, but I like how these two are fusing together. That is really pretty. And I'm just going to carry a little bit of that up into the crease. Wipe that brush off. Same brush. We're going to pop in with the shade Sweet. And I'm just going to start popping it right here. And this one is a little sheerer. So it does have a base, but then it also is kind of, it's not exactly a topper, but it's a little bit more iridescent shimmer. But it's very pretty. And gives kind of like nice lightness to the eyes because some of the mattes are so deep. So it's kind of like sugar crystals. You know how sometimes blueberry muffins, where you, depending on where you get them from, have those little sugar crystals on top? Kind of reminds me of that. So that is actually really cute. I'm just going to go back in with the 202 brush and just make sure everything is good up in here. I think I'll take a tiny bit of Decadent, which is the darker brown, and place it right there. It was just a little tiny bit of patchiness, but I really like that blue Stud Muffin with Decadent. When I did my first look, when I just wore it to work, I just had Stud Muffin on the outside, but I like how those shades mesh together. Let's do the other eye. BK Beauty 201. I'm gonna pop in with the gray matte treat. You know I like a good gray matte. I feel like, you know, it's my friend that, you know, I don't really see a lot, but you know, when we meet up, we don't skip a beat. So I'm just going to ever so slightly just buff that into the crease or the transition area. This blends out really nicely, and boom, we're done with that. That's cute. BK Beauty 202, I'm going to pop in with Cheat Day. So that's one thing I don't need. I don't need any more cheat days. I need to get my life back together. Just gonna pop that in the actual crease. That shows up nicely. I like that. Ooh, it's very neon. Yes. Yes. And I'm just gonna kind of blend the two together with this shade Treat. That's the gray shade. I'm gonna go back in one more time. Cheat Day, just build it up a little bit more. This color builds up very nicely. It's a nice periwinkle matte. BK Beauty 203, I'm gonna go in with the shade Baker's Dozen. It's like a matte that has, it does have some sparkle to it. Just gonna tap off the brush. the excess. But it doesn't, okay. Look like it's packing on pretty nicely. Dark colors like this, I like to pack it on and then start kind of manipulating it. Now with that 202, I'm like using the same 3 brushes for this look, y'all. So I'm gonna start kind of blending it out. Just the edges and the areas that need to be blended. That is like one of the best ways to approach dark mattes. And then now when I'm blending, I'll go back in. Right there, shadow usually skips right there for me. And you can see some of that glitter falling from the shade Baker's Dozen. Going back in, shade Cheat Day. Actually, I kind of messed up right there. Okay. I'm gonna go back in with Treat because I had the gray matte right there. Let's see. Okay. It looks okay. It'll be fine, okay? This happens. BK Beauty 203. I'm gonna pop in with the shade Yummy, and this one does show up pretty nicely. It's a little bit more full body shimmer. It's not like kind of more, it still has some iridescent, you know, vibes to it, but it's a little bit more opaque. But I did find that I think it worked better when I wet it, so I'm gonna lay it down dry first. That's one of the best methods. I'm gonna take some up into the crease. That crease looks a little tragic, but it'll be fine. I got my All Nighter Setting Spray by Urban Decay. I'm gonna take that shade Yummy and I'll just wet my brush with it. I like how Yummy is kind of like a shifter shade. So it's gonna look good basically all over whatever mattes you decide to go in with. I needed a smaller brush, so I'm gonna go in with the Flat Definer by Sonia G and take the shade Crumble right here. I'm just gonna pop Crumble, like boom, 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 right here. I like this shade Crumble, it's cute. Cool tones, I'm telling you, they coming back with a vengeance, baby. Okay, so when I look at it all together, it ain't bad, it ain't bad, it ain't bad. That crease was not what I expected to happen. Let me take this, what is this? I'm still learning these brushes, the 201. You think I would know because I just said them about 50 times. Let's see. Blend that out. That looks better, more fused. I just didn't intend for it to be so dark up here, but it is what it is. Let's see, let's go in with maybe a little bit of Yummy to kind of see if we can get that a little lighter. Bring it down. Yeah, it helped. It helped. I think sometimes when we have darker skin, we can't always look at like ashier tones, like, or whites, like in the Melt palette, the the Waiting Room. Yeah, Waiting Room, it has that white, but like I showed you in the video, it can really help mellow down like darker shades so you can create new gradients. And the same with like the shade, that one shade that's called Transition, that little stony color that's in that Natasha Denona Glam palette. Like, it does help like lighten up some of the colors if you want to, you know, just manipulate it a little differently. All right, I'm gonna do the rest of my face makeup, liner, lashes, you know the deal. I'll be right back. All right, I am back, and here are the first 2 looks with the Blueberry Muffin palette, and I'm really digging them. I really am in love with this look right here. I think it came out so beautiful, and the gradient between that blue and that brown, which was more of a deep plummy brown, so pretty. And I just like the lightness, iridescentness of that. It is just so stunning. I really like this eye too, but I'm not so keen on the mistake I made right here with I just wanted it to be like blue, then the purple, but it doesn't look bad. It's actually really pretty too. I like how that shade Yummy, I think that's the shade, yeah, Yummy, which is the, yeah. I like how that layers over those particular mattes as well. I think everything has blended out really well. The shade that I said I'm not so keen about is the shade Fluffy, but let's see, it looks really pretty. I just wish it was more of that gradient, but it is what it is. So per usual, my face details will be linked down below. For my lips, I did use the lip bar. I went ahead with DreamChaser. Love this gloss. It's like a thick, opaque gloss that pretty much stays place. And then I went in with my Juvia's Place lip liner in the shade Scorpio. I love this lip liner. It's been a favorite of the year for sure. So let's go ahead and jump into the third look. All right, let's get into the next look, the final look, going in with the BK 201. That Dome blending brush. The primer is the same. I am going to jump in with 350 degrees, and my plan is to buff this out so it's a little lighter, okay? So first I'm just gonna kind of stamp ever so lightly across the crease in transition area, and then just buff it out. I don't want it to be super dark. But I told you I don't really care for that shade Fluffy, so I'm gonna use this one. And this does have a nice tone, so it looks a little deep. Probably looks a little deeper on camera than, oh, let me cut this light off. So it probably looks a little deeper on camera, but yeah. I'm just blending this out really well. Same brush, wiped it off, gonna go in with the shade So Good. And the first I'm going to stamp that, so I'm just like raising my eyebrows so I can get in that area where my shadow gets lost. And lay it down. And I'm gonna drag it down to that outer V area. And I'm just stamping it up so we get the pigmentation, and then I'll blend the edges. BK Beauty 202, now I'm just gonna go through and just blend out the edges. I feel like I have lost some of the color right here, but let's see. I'm gonna pick up a little of So Good with that, the blending brush, whatever this is called, because I can't remember. I'm gonna keep blending, and I'm gonna kind of feather it out. Let's see, how is it looking from this standpoint? Okay, so it's pretty much where I want it to be. Okay, so I think I am still gonna pick up this brush. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more and stamp it right down here so we get a little bit more pigment. Yeah. This color is really pretty, but you know, it's not a manipulating color. Like, you know, you kind of need to put it and leave it. Put it and leave it, because yeah. It does fade a little bit, but it's good. It's pretty good, yeah. Okay, Beauty, this is the 203. Going to go in with the shade Tempting. This shade, like, you know, I could not resist using it. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at it. Look at it. Ooh, and over that So Good shade, look at it. Okay. And I do have a tiny bit of fallout. Yeah, I do. But I probably picked up a little bit more. Like I said, it doesn't really bother me, but my base is done from the other looks. But I usually just clean it up. But normally, I do my eyes first, so it's not even an issue. But this shade is gorgeous. Let's see. I'm gonna go in with a little setting spray. All right, so I blended that tempting shade all over my eye right here. It is very, very pretty. And then I had a phone call I had to take. I'm sorry, guys. So I was like, I think I was starting to kind of filming when, yeah. So I'm gonna take my flat definer brush and we're gonna pop in with something in the inner corner. So I don't know. We have this shade Hot and Fresh. It's really cute. So let's try that, and then maybe we'll pop a little Cravings on top because I don't think I want it to be as dark silver. Yeah, that's cute. I just want a little bit. That's why I went in with this flat definer brush. I really enjoy this brush for the inner corner and my lower lash line. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Cravings, which is a sparkle shade, like a little topper, but it has a little bit more gold to it. Just to give it that extra oomph. All right, that's really cute. Really, really cute. I'm gonna take a little So Good with the flat definer brush. And I'm gonna run it underneath my eyelid and see how this works. So I realize like this is not a shade that you can just manipulate. But it does go pretty well underneath the eye line, okay. Yeah, that works. And then let's see, I think let's take Stud Muffin right here and let's run that together. Oh yeah, that's cute. And it just gives it a little extra dimension. And I think I forgot to mention it, for my other looks I use my Blitz Blue pencil by Pat McGrath, but it's so much blue in this look. I think I'll go in with the black liner just so we can have a little dimension. So I'll be right back with my other eye done. All right, I'm back and this is the final look and woo, it is banging. I am loving it. I think it came out so great. The shades performed wonderful. So let's go ahead and talk about the Blueberry Muffin palette. This palette is just so cute. I think it was just an unexpected surprise amongst the beauty community. And once everybody kind of got their hands on it, they just started ranting and raving about how cute this palette is. It is a great kind of neutral palette, pops of blue and pops of blurple, but very cute, very well done. The performance is great. The best thing about it is so affordable. The packaging is really, really cute. I love how they have like the iridescent writing for Blueberry Muffin. They have the Blueberry Muffins on top of it, the cardboard packaging, very sleek, standard. I like how it has the little, let's see, here is the sleeve right here. I probably won't keep this sleeve because it's just kind of saying the same thing as the packaging, the front packaging, so it's really no difference, and it's the same thing on the back. But I feel like everything was just kind of well thought of. I also like how the inside is laid out with the iridescent piping around the shadows and around the mirror. The mirror is pretty good quality. I mean, it's a nice palette. I feel like BH is really kind of like stepping up their game. I haven't tried BH in such a long time. Now, the performance of the shadows is only one shadow that I told you I don't care for. That is the shade Fluffy. I feel like it just needs more pigmentation. It's even though it's supposed to be a light peach, it just needs a little bit more of the peach in it. It comes out very sheer, a little ashy, and even though it's a lighter color, I just don't really expect it to be ashy. I expect it to show up more peach, but it looks like it has just too much of a white base in it. Now, all the mattes performed very well. So Treat was one of my favorites. So the only matte I did not use was Delish, actually. But Treat performed very well as a transition, so that 350 Degrees and Decadent and Baker's Dozen. Now 350 you can kind of sheer out if you wanted to use it as another option, or it's affordable. If you have your favorite transition shade, just go in with that. I mean, you know, this is a great little palette. The shimmers perform very well. I like how Yummy and Hot and Fresh and the shade Tempting were very bold, full body, pigmented mattes. like the palette is throwing off my lighting. And then I also like how you had a lot of different topper shades. You have very gold ones, you had some silver ones, you had some in between gold and silver. So I like that, and it just kind of brings a lightness to the eyes, especially with some of the deeper dark mattes, because the mattes are a little deeper in this palette except for that one fluffy. But overall, I felt like it performed very well. I liked all the looks I created. I wasn't very thrilled about how I did my transition, but that wasn't the palette, that was just me. So sometimes that happens, but I love all of the looks. Like, this is a really beautiful blue look with that silvery pop of corner. And so I would say, like, basically the first look was my favorite. Then I would go with this one, and then I would say number 3 was the one I created on the eye right here. But overall, I feel like this is just so great. It's $13. Oh, well, I got it for $13.50 on the BH Cosmetics website. So at the current time, unfortunately, this palette is sold out. I'm so sorry, guys, but do keep your eye on it. It looks like they will be restocking it. At the present moment, BH Cosmetics is having like a up to 80% sale on their palettes. So it looks like this palette actually retails for $10.80 at the moment. So that is great. I mean, for, what do you get for 16 shades, you can't beat $10.80, especially if they perform well, and especially for a pop palette. If you know, like, you're not going to use this every day, but I feel like you can use certain shades pretty much every day, because you have that Decadent and the 350, and you can do navy blues in the crease, and you have a lot of neutral shimmer shades to pop on top that are like cool tone or a little bit more warmer. So you can't beat that. And then also they are having like the avocado toast palettes on sale. So I will be coming up with a 3 looks 1 palette with that one as well. And just keep an eye out on for it, because I know on December 11th, they're going to restock the Sweet Shop, so they might be restocking the Blueberry Muffin. And you can pick up, I know like the Naughty palette has been getting a lot of rave reviews. The other Sweet Shop palettes that are available, besides the pistachio and bubblegum, those are 2 we're waiting for to come back. But all the rest of them have been getting rave reviews, so you can pick it up on a very deep discount. That'll be worth it. But overall, I am really, really pleased with this. It is really cute, and I mean, nothing else to say. Like, who doesn't love an affordable palette? So let me know down below, do you have this palette? Are you planning on picking up this palette? Have you been kind of reluctant to try this brand? I've tried this brand a while ago. It was just okay, and now it seems like they are getting their act together. They're getting back in the game, you know what I mean? So give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because you know I would love to have you here in my little makeup family. And with that being said, you already know what time it is. It's time for the chair dance. Hey, 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 chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. All right, y'all.